The more things change, the more they stay the same. Another NBA season in the books, and the Golden State Warriors are your NBA champions yet again. Second win in 3 years, and again they played the Cleveland Cavaliers. This time, the only thing that changed is that they beat the Cavaliers this time around. As we head into the NBA offseason, a 30-52 record for us. Didn't think we'd reach 30 wins. I thought we would have had a tough time enough reaching 20 wins, but a few trades went our way. We were able to get a few assets, mainly a pick in the 2019 draft, which could certainly help us out. Or the 2018 draft, I should say, as we're heading into the 2017 draft. We lost the 2019 draft pick, but who knows? Who knows what can happen in the offseason? And I am not even sure yet who I'm going to pick. I've been looking at a few different guys, like maybe trading up to get Marcus Bolden, or, looking at possibly Markkanen. You have Dylan Brooks, a bunch of different guys to maybe look at, still considering. We head on to the player retirements into this year. After 19 years of service, Paul Pierce finally retires from the Clippers, as well as Nazr Mohammed. Mike Miller no longer on our roster as he's retired. Andre Miller, Elton Brand, Metta World Peace, Richard Jefferson, the Birdman Chris Anderson, Manu Ginobili, Creighton's own Kyle Korver, Matt Barnes, Kansas standout Nick Collison, and Pablo Prigioni, all gone this year as they retired. Hall of Fame inductions, Paul Pierce, the only one to get in. Surprise, no Manu Ginobili here. I thought for sure the NBA championships and him being such a vital part of that Spurs team would have got him here, but nope. Only Paul Pierce. Not to say that it wasn't well deserved for him, as he now moves on to the Hall of Fame. Manu Ginobili did get his jersey retired by the San Antonio Spurs, so no one will at least ever wear number 20 down there in San Antonio in honor of him, as well as Paul Pierce back in his 15 years with the Celtics as the number 34 gets thrown into the rafters. We go to the league meetings. Had a few rule changes. Well, only one rule change, honestly. We also did decide that Baltimore and Las Vegas will join in next year as the expansion teams. They still had to go build their stadium, so we couldn't bring them in this year. The rules proposed: automatic points being granted on shooting fouls, no free throws to take place. Absolutely not. No, we like sending Dwight Howard to the free throw line and letting him shoot up bricks. We did change the Rising Stars Challenge to 13 players per team. The change the number of fouls required before a player fouls out to 5 did not pass. This is not college basketball. Same with change the shot clock to 35 seconds. That did not pass. We are not college basketball. And players will not be eligible for the NBA draft until at least 3 years removed from high school or an international player 21 years or older. Did not pass either. We're not trying to wait on any more on talent. I believe that they should be able to come straight out of high school if they so wish. But yeah, we cannot allow someone like Deshaun Miles and Derek Patterson to sit and rot in college for 3 years when they can come to the NBA, make their money, and continue on with their lives. So off to the NBA draft we go. The draft lottery underway. The big one that we're looking out for are the Celtics, who have the number 2 spot in terms of the odds right now. Lakers also a big one to watch out for, as if they are not in the top 3, the pick goes back to Philadelphia. They are currently seated at 4 in the odds. So with the 14th pick in the NBA draft, it will go to the New Orleans Pelicans. No surprise there, as they stay in place. Be interesting to see what they do with the pick, as they still have Anthony Davis there. The Nuggets at 13. We do have their 2019 pick. Going to be interesting to see what they do at 13, knowing that for right now they are missing one pick going into next year. The Dallas Mavericks, who didn't finish so bad in the West, or not as bad as I thought that they would, end up with the 12th pick. And with the 11th pick, it stays with the Washington Wizards, an already loaded team with Bradley Beal and John Wall. Maybe they get a big man to go and help them out down low. With the 10th pick, a fellow division rival, the Philadelphia 76ers, stay there with the 10th pick, and they're praying that Lakers pick falls outside of the top 3. With the 9th pick, it goes to the Utah Jazz. So thus far, nothing out of place. Everything is still the same. Jazz with the most lottery picks in the NBA since 2010, with 7 of them. So this is the 7th year in a row that they will be picking in the lottery. Here's the 8th pick going and staying with the New York Knicks. Again, another rival up here with the top pick, as we are the only team in our division without a lottery pick. The 7th pick stays with the Hornets. So again, things still looking up to par thus far, as the Charlotte Hornets will pick 7th. With the 6th pick, it goes to the Orlando Magic, staying right at home. So the Magic will pick 6th. They took Sabonis last year. I think the Thunder took him and then got the Magic did take Sabonis and then traded him to the Thunder. And with the 5th pick, it stays with the Timberwolves. So thus far, everything is up to par. Do the Lakers end up having to give their pick back to the Sixers? Because if so, this creates a huge problem for us. So with the 4th pick, it will go to the Atlanta Hawks, which means that the Lakers have gone and shot up into the top 3, meaning that they keep their pick, and that's at least one problem we do not have to deal with. With the 3rd pick, it'll go to the Boston Celtics, which means that they took a step down, which means that maybe they don't get a shot at the player that they're looking for. But then again, this is a deep draft. So with the 2nd pick, with the Lakers and Kings at it, does the 1st pick go to the LA Lakers? As the ball goes through, it actually stays with the Lakers at 2, which means that the number 1 pick in the NBA draft will go to the Sacramento Kings, meaning that DeMarcus Cousins may finally get the help that he's been looking for if he decides to stay at Sacramento. This could be an interesting year for them, considering that Boogie will become a free agent next year. So this pick becomes very important for them. Be interesting to see what they do. But the good news is that in the top 3, only the Celtics are there, and they at the number 3 pick, at least it's not the first 2. And the Sixers did not get their pick back, which at least keeps us in good position there at the number 15 spot. So on we go from the draft lottery on to the scouting and the draft combine. I took a look at a few different guys that I thought may be interesting to go ahead and maybe bring into this team, as I'm looking for either a forward or a center to take over. I'm not sure what I want to do with Brook Lopez quite yet, as he is a huge trade asset possibly. So I'm looking through what players we can possibly look through, like Bam Adebayo and Miles Bridges, a guy who I looked at earlier on in the year thinking that maybe this is where the pick would fall to us. And sure enough, it did. With the 15th pick in the draft, I thought maybe Miles Bridges and his athleticism would be a decent pick here. And he shows that he has some decent amount of range, maybe something that we can work on and improve his game as we move on down the line. Then there's also Oregon's Dylan Brooks, who I wanted to take a look at. Decent height there at 6'7". Maybe can play a bit faster than Hollis Jefferson at the 3. Again, not completely sure what I want to do with them quite yet, but somebody that I have my eye on. As well as Lauri Markkanen. If I were to trade Brook Lopez, I think Lauri Markkanen is the direction that I would want to go moving forward. A guy who can stretch out, maybe play more in the 4, play a little bit of 5. And if I wanted to keep him at the 5, just play a stretch offense. We're already succeeding a bit as a 3-point team, so maybe that's where we go. Looking down at all the draft boards, maybe it's a bit of a stretch to go and reach down that far to get someone like Markkanen, as they have him very low on all draft boards. Draft Express has him at 27, with us taking Karan Blossom game at Clemson, who's another guy I'm kind of interested in. When we go to the NBA.com mock drafts, they have Markkanen going higher, up the 20 spot to the Bucks, while we're taking Miles Bridges at 15. And then when we jumped over to 2K's mock drafts, things got a lot more interesting with Markkanen. They had Markkanen all the way down at the bottom of the draft board in the first round, all the way down at pick number 30. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with Markkanen overall. They have him very low, but I think that he's a very talented player, and a lot can be done with him. And I'm sure all of you guys are going to have your input on what we should do with the draft. Hope to see you all there, as I'm sure it's one you don't want to miss.